Hey everybody, I'm Zee Garcia, and today I'm taking a look at a two-player abstract game called DuploLine from nestorgames. In this game, the players are trying to get 4 of their pieces in a line. Simple enough, very much a classic concept, but in this one, you have 2 different kinds of pieces, and they can be combined. It's a ring and a disc. The ring, of course, can go around the disc, and once that happens on the board, then those pieces can no longer move, and you can even combine your piece with your opponent's piece. If you get 4 rings in a row, or 4 discs in a row, then you win the whole thing. Let me show you how it works. We'll come on back after that, and I'll tell you what I think of it. The objective of the game is to get 4 of your pieces in a line and therefore win the game. So for example, the player playing the black pieces would win if they are able to accomplish 4 discs in a straight line, or the player playing the white pieces would win if they can get 4 of their rings in a straight line. Either one of these is a winning combination. To start the game, the player with the white pieces here is going to play a piece anywhere on the board, either type of piece. So they might do that. And then every turn from now on, the players are going to take a disc action and a ring action. When you take a disc action, you are going to place that disc next to an opponent's piece anywhere on the board, or you can jump a disc inside of an adjacent ring. Either color is fine. The ring action works basically the same way, except you'll jump and surround a disc on the board already. So, for example, this player might do that and do that. Then the other player will play, and they are going to go ahead and do this and do that. And the player playing the back pieces now might, for example, do this. They might jump in here for their disc action, and for their ring action, they might do that. Now, one thing to note is you cannot ever break up the entire shape. So for the white pieces here, this would be an illegal move because they would break up the entire structure into 2 separate areas. And that is pretty much all the rules for the game. You are going to continue either introducing new pieces or jumping around or into other pieces, locking those down, by the way. This will never move again, the combination of the 2. Until someone is able to achieve a winning combination and they win the entire game. Very simple, highly tactical. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think about it. And that is DuploLine. So let's talk about it. I'm going to use my target audience system here to break this down. We're going to start with thematic ties. Now, obviously, this is an abstract game, and usually when I'm talking about an abstract game, thematic ties fill in for that thing about a game that makes you want to play, to come up to the table and look at it and go, you're doing what in this? So it's kind of an aesthetic. It's sort of a visual pleasure you are getting from enjoying watching the game set up, from the the captivating sort of je ne sais quoi that a game's going to have when it is an abstract game that is lovingly produced. Nestorgames are not really known for that. These are games made by one person. They are sold in a pouch. The components are usually nothing to write home about. So unfortunately, I have to give this a thumbs down. I will say, however, in aesthetics, which is component quality, artwork, things like that, this is one of the better looking Nestorgames I've seen out there. The board is a neoprene board, as they usually are, so it's basically a mouse pad that's been printed. Looks pretty good, looks clean, and then the pieces do work well. They are hard plastic, the colors are, very clean, and I do like the way that they come together. They fit inside of each other very well. The game does have a good look on the table while you are playing. I could see someone being a fan of abstracts walking by and being attracted to see what's going on the table. It's a little on the small side, but again, comes in a little pouch, so there is that. Replayability. Does the game give you new things to discover from session to session? I think it has a pretty good replayability. I wouldn't say like, oh, spectacular here, but it's pretty good. It's kind of a game that's being played on 2 levels, right? You could almost envision this as a 3D game with one board having just the discs, the other board having just the rings. And you're kind of playing on one and the other every turn. You take one move on this one, you take one move on this one. Once 2 things line up, they lock each other in place. If you think of it that way, then you can start to sort of envision what's going on in the game on a deeper level, which I think is interesting. And there are strategies in play here to try out from game to game. You know, new things to try to discover, to try to manipulate, to force your opponent to make a move or not allow them to make a move, that sort of thing. I think that's clever. Game length, is it interesting the whole time? Does it get repetitive? Anything like that? Game's short. It's about 20-30 minutes tops. I mean, that would be a long session of this. And I think it is, it earns that time length. You know, an abstract game that is longer than 20 minutes or so really needs to have some truly sort of captivating, evolving story, if you'll, allow me, that that warrants that game length. I don't think this one does, but it's not more than 20 minutes or so. So I think it is engaging the entire time. Ease of play. Is it clean? Which is something that is a very, very important part when I'm talking about an abstract game. Does the game earn that simplicity equals, depth of gameplay that a good abstract should have, right? Few rules, a minute to learn, lifetime to master, all that stuff. And I think this one does. I don't know about the lifetime to master, but certainly a minute to learn. It's one that you'll get just about anybody as long as they are not, they don't require the lush artwork and interesting setting to sit down and play with you. And I like that very much. And then lastly, tactics and strategy. Is the game rich? Is there any luck? Anything like that? Another very important thing for abstract games. There's no luck whatsoever in the game, and I think the tactics are there. There's going to be a lot of reacting, a lot of sort of misdirection when it comes to this game. If you like that in abstract games, I think you're going to like this one. This idea of having your opponent, pulling one of these, look over here, I'm doing things over here, psych, I moved a piece in here and that lined up for you. Didn't see that coming, did you? If you enjoy that kind of moment, that kind of feeling in abstract games, I think you're going to like this one. So overall, I've played quite a few Nestor games. Not all of them are games that I find visually appealing, and not all of them are games I find to warrant a lot of repeat plays. In my opinion, this is one of the better ones. It's one that has a clean concept behind it. X in a row games have been around for a long time, but it combines this two-piece idea that can be combined to great effect. So, yeah, this one's going to sneak into a seal of approval from me. DuploLine is a pretty good one, and if you're looking to support Nestor games, to support abstract gaming in general, then maybe this is one you want to check out. So there you go. That is DuploLine again. Thanks for checking this out with me. I'm Zee Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.